Hello guys, it's TF2 here, and it's early Friday morning. I mean very early, I mean like 3 o'clock in the morning. But it's still Friday nonetheless, and I said I'd have a video for you by Friday. So, today I wanted to talk about a new kind of game mode that's getting more and more attention recently. People are enjoying it more. I think the main aspect of it is just to do with the fact that it has so few people in it, it can just be done amongst a group of friends, and it takes very little effort to organize because there are so few people. I mean, if you compare it to Highlander, which has 18 people, this is 4v4, which is just a total of 8 people. That's less than one team, and it's a little less than 6v6, so it feels a little less kind of... It's still competitive, but not nearly as such. It's hard to explain, but this is some gameplay of me playing medic for one team. This is just a group of friends, but we all assigned different teams. Basically, all we did was get our server up and running, so get a server like serveme.tf, I'll put a link to that in the description. We just ran a Koth Pro Viaduct, and just run it as we wanted to, really. We had a mumble server, we muted the people who weren't in our teams, and we kept the people running who were in our teams, obviously. And we just had a blast. It's really fun. Just the 4 of you, it kind of teaches you everything you need to know about the other competitive leagues, for instance 6v6 and Highlander, because you have to learn to hold, which is something the other ones don't kind of initially teach you. Maybe 6v6 does more so, but because there's so few people, you have to be very careful with who goes where and who does what, because if you lose a guy, it can mean a big difference, because if you're thinking maybe you lose 2 guys, normally in, say, Highlander you could still hold that pretty well, but that's half your team gone in 4v4, and it makes a hell of a difference. And on top of that, while we're discussing the game mode 4v4, we might as well talk about competitive in general, and stuff that you do leading up to competitive. For example, here I'm trying out DirectX 8. Now, a lot of people see that as just a performance thing, but I myself don't see it like that, and I'm sure a lot of other people don't too. I think it's much better for competitive, because everything is so much clearer, there's much less visual noise, and you can basically just see everything that's going on. Team colored effects are much brighter, so for example grenades, teleporters, medi-beams from the other medic. However, your medi-beam from first person isn't visible, which is good and bad, because you're going to be used to the DirectX 9 version, which is very visible. It's always there, and it leads you to your heal target, so you always know where to go when you need that net of safety. But I like it not being there, because you can still see the crosses flowing towards them, so you know where the general direction is if you're not paying attention to them. And you can see a lot more. You don't have this big hose pipe coming out of the front of the screen. Those who watch me streaming will know that I normally play with my view models off on the Medigun, but for this instant I thought, you know what, it's going on YouTube. In fact, I sat there just constantly pressing the toggle view models on button, because every time I switched between my crossbow and my Medigun, or my Ubersaw and my Medigun, it would get rid of the view model for the Medigun again, so I would have to press the button again. So I just sat there throughout the entirety of this, spamming the button. Anyway, that doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, competitive is a lot more fun than pub play, and I honestly think the fewer the friends the better, because Highlander is so easy to get just lost in. The amount of voices, people can start shouting, it's actually rather frustrating. But yeah, rules of 4v4. You can be any class, however the general setup is Medic, Demoman, Scout and Soldier, these being the fastest classes, which can do the most damage with speed, and you can only have one of each class. There goes a spy making a rather brilliant play. We thought we were safe there, and he kills the entire team within a few seconds. So we have to get the point back after that. I don't believe he caps it actually, but oh well. And you can only have one. Yeah, you can only have one of each class, and you can only have a medic or a heavy. You cannot have the 2 at the same time, because it's just too powerful, and you just end up with both teams having a heavy medic, and it would kind of be a battle between the 2. And we tried it. and we realized why it was a rule, because it's just not fun in comparison to everything else that you can do, the ways that the different classes fight each other. I mean, having a heavy on heavy battle is just, you know, who can stare the hardest. It's it's not fun to play, it's not fun to watch, it's boring, but having one heavy is fun, because without the dependency on his medic, then he is quite a vulnerable target, but he is still not a force to be ignored, that's for certain. The spy makes a return for another stab, and let's just say he missed. So yeah, another thing if you want to get into competitive, because I'm on the subject of it now, modes, Highlander, 9v9, one of every class, 6s, 2 soldiers, 2 scouts. One of the soldiers is a pocket with a shotgun, the other is a roamer with the gunboats. The pocket sticks with the medic and protects him from... it's like the protection bomb, like the heavy is in general play. And there's 4v4, which is this game mode. And it's surprisingly good how it turns out having just the heavy instead of the medic healing everyone else. Because the heavy, you know, you still got the sandwich, you can still heal yourself up, you can still heal others up. And because there's only 4 of you, there's enough health packs to go around, so long as you... are quick enough to grab them before your scout does, or before your soldier jumps on it. And yeah, spies make incredibly interesting plays. And the best part is, if they get used to you, and suddenly they can call you bluff, and they kill you over and over again, for example here, and here, and here, and here, and probably here, then you can just change class. And it's so surprising what a class change makes, because before you saw me jump into heavy after playing medic for like the past 20 minutes, and they didn't have a clue what to do, and now suddenly they're facing a demo man after a heavy being around the whole time, and it just shakes the whole configuration, because you're not expecting such a big change to the gameplay. A heavy, a medic, a demo, a scout, a spy, they're all different forms. However, I would recommend that one player sticks to either medic, heavy, or demo, or you have a demo and a heavy / medic, because they are the 3 power classes, and without them you are going to struggle. But yeah, all in all, I couldn't recommend 4v4 enough, and I'll do another video on scripting and stuff, because when you're going into competitive, and this will probably be the start of it if you try this out, you will end up in a 6s team or a Highlander team after this. There is so much to do with config files and stuff which help you out, and for example, this is my medic config. Yeah, it's not small, is it? That's one class. But anyway guys, I'll talk about that in a different video. Hope you had a good weekend. Goodbye!